welcome to another episode of the show, My Ninja Workshop. It's an impressive time with you again on this particular show. And I hope you have been subscribing to the channel, YouTube channel, New Ace TV. Don't forget, and also click on the bell icon so that you can get notifications each time a new episode is uploaded. Thank you very much for your comments and your reactions. They have been amazing. Today's episode of the show will also see another exceptional entrepreneur doing his business in Nigeria. So today, we are right here in another business area to interview this person who has been doing amazing work. Intelligent young man, very, very smart, very, very brilliant, and he has a whole long foresight. You will love to meet him. So come with me and let's meet our guest for today. My name is Derek Ugwebu. Welcome to the show. Let's go. All right, so we're here right now at the office premises of somebody who is been in the business world for a couple of times or a couple of years right now. And he has gone through a whole lot. He has gained wide experience from different sectors. But today he's running his own business, and he also has a couple of branches attached to his venture, and we would like to know how he was able to do that and how he got to this place and all that he went through to get to this place. So join me as I welcome my guest for today's edition of the show. Make some noise for Mr. Joseph.
All right. Good day, everyone. My name is Ibochi Joseph Agbo. I am actually the manager.
Whatever you are, you know what you are.
Actually, like where we are here, this is a laundry firm called Success Laundry. In case maybe for tomorrow, you might be seeing it all over, the nooks and crannies across the metropolis.
Interesting.
Actually, this is where the genesis of the whole story, began and all that. I'm into some other aspect of, businesses as well. But basically, this is one of them. And where we are here happens to be one of my outlets or locations in Code. For a while now, I think I have been this kind of person who actually enjoy a lot concerning business when it comes to business aspect, for over 2 years probably now, I have been officially on board, trying to see how I can be able to, pick or pursue a career in this regard and all that concerning the business aspect, So the story all began in 2017 precisely, after a very long duration of I've been trying to see what I can actually do, as a young person, after I have been able to, gain experience in 2-3 other, multinational companies and so on and so forth. So knowing how challenging it is in this our own part of the country and all that, in the sense that it is very difficult for you to just wake up with a man with dreams and aspirations, to realize his dreams because of the challenges of, the environment, government, and some other, aspect that have been able to be so challenging to us as young people and so on. I myself, when I looked at the whole thing, I said, no, I will never give up. I want to use my story to encourage many out there, in the sense that, at the end of the day, young people can be able to wake up, and aspire to become something, by picking or by pursuing a particular career path in life, and so on and so forth. So that has my own came about in 2017. The first and famous, I didn't just jump into the business or maybe the laundry business. Okay. After, a couple of my finding research and all that and so forth and so forth, I consulted a firm, that drafted the kind of, business proposals for me and so on and so forth. Wow. And then I actually looked at it after a little, deliberation. I just discovered that the idea of laundry precisely, and then what's it called? The food aspect, which is the catering and so on and so forth, are so something that people cannot do without it every day.
Sure.
And so because of that, I now decided to say, okay, since I have an interest, I like cleaning a lot, because anywhere I stay, I just have every of my things to be just wow,
clean,
and spark,
okay.
and so on and so forth. So that's the kind of life I live. And on the basis of that, I now said, okay, I have to go for something that I have passions for.
All
and
right.
passion is, the key to me to where I am today, or the milestones that have, catapulted me to my present story today that I'm sharing to the world now. And in that wise, I just have to pick the laundry aspect and the dry cleaning. So first and foremost, I went into, finding how I can be able to become a proper and a good laundry man and all that. So I have to go to trainings. I actually consulted more reputable, and standard laundry firms across, the metropole, and many of them bill me to such that, my capacity cannot afford. And eventually, as time goes on, after 6 months of looking for where I can be able to do my internship with, I was able to be lucky to, get a place which is called Express Laundry Limited and Dry Cleaning. And they offer all kinds of laundry services and so on and so forth. So eventually I settled in, and then I was meant to be trained for like 6 months durations and so on and so forth. But eventually I went through the process, and later then, after 4 months, because I have some other things that I do as well to support myself and so on, I was able to come out with the first outlet, which comprises of the laundry aspect, and then the barbing salons, and that is the kind of unisex salons and so on and so forth. And then the subscriptions, which has to do with, the online, you want to do registration for 1 or 2 things and so on and so forth. And then that is where we all started. Then eventually a year later, I now find myself in this current present location that I am here today, as a result of, the artwork and some other things I have been able to put in place.
Wow, impressive. I mean, you've spoken at length. Now, while you were talking, I noted some particular points you mentioned. And then some of the points that you mentioned include passion.
Sure.
And you also mentioned hard work.
Sure.
All right. And then you also mentioned, you have a vision or a dream. Now, why do you think that some young people feel like they are powerless, or that they are helpless when it comes to trying to pursue their own dreams? Why do you think that they don't have this desire, this passion? What do you think is discouraging them from finding their feet, especially in this country, Nigeria?
Well, the first and foremost, there is nothing challenging in life. Your belief in life or towards life situations goes a long way. So by the time maybe you don't have that kind of belief system in you, you discover that every challenges that comes to you. And first and foremost, let us always be conscious that, challenges are inevitable in life.
Sure.
And as a matter of fact, it is expected that as human, we are meant to, be part and parcel of challenges. Or we should always be conscious that challenges will come. But when they come, your ability again is another key thing there. Your ability to be able to dismantle, your obstacles and barriers in life goes a long way too. Taking you maybe towards your destiny line and so on. So to me, I believe that, people should believe in themselves. When you know who you are, all right, there won't be any impossibility. Because whatsoever a man thinketh, so it is. So if you think failures, man, what's the byproduct of failure? It's just what the result will be. But if you think, okay, fine, you are going to be successful, I tell you, then the sky becomes your limit.
Wow.
And so to me, I want to encourage young people out there to believe in themselves and to believe in their dream. And they should not look at the challenges aspect of it. I, as a person, by the time I start, opening the diaries of how I came about up to this day, and even some months ago, I had challenges also. But the ability for me to always wake up, and addresses my challenges. And like I said before, problems, issues, challenges, and what have you, they are raw material to us as human beings. We were meant to process them and then, derive results out of them.
All of them.
You know, so challenges are not supposed to weigh us down. Challenges are not supposed to define us. You know, challenges are not supposed to make us to give our dreams. Do you know that the dream you gave up might be actually the asset that the world is hoping to look? Do you know that maybe your aspiration, you know, might cause a whole lot of change? The changes we see all over the world today is because people wake up, you know, to the consciousness of believing in themselves that says, I can do it. For instance, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, he was working for someone before. And at a point, you know, he believed in himself that, you know, I can do this thing. But all the platform weren't there for him. But with the courage he has in him, he was able to scale through all the hurdles of life and so on. And today, everybody, you know, is part and parcel of Facebook. He has contributed, you know, to every individual in the world today. So to me, I think belief should be key.
Okay.
And then, secondly, the aspiration thing too, you need to actually have, you know, a passion. Passion is what drives everyone. And then another thing again is faith.
Okay.
Never you give up, you know, because if you don't try it, you will not know the outcome. But you have to try it
before you know the outcome.
Before you know the outcome.
Okay, so you've gone through challenges. All right. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges you've gone through while trying to start your business, and then how have you been able to overcome them? At least that would inspire some other people.
For the little different services that I render and all that, I have failed repeatedly, but the ability for me to fail and never sit down is another thing.
Okay, what are those
specifically
ventures you were
like, for example, the year 2017 to 2018, you know, after paying for the rent and some other things, I bumped into the business scene.
Okay, what business was that?
Still the same laundry salon,
okay.
some other stuff, and then I do, you know, online cap too as well, you know, just to support the dream and so on. And then at that point, you know, I just discovered that for a good 1 year, I couldn't realize, you know, my investment into that place. And it was so challenging that, you know, those who were working with me gave up.
Wow.
And after that, I sat up and then actually took over the business, because then people were helping me to manage some aspect and so on. And most people were like, guy, you know, if you didn't come, this and that, all those kinds of things, you know, and I have to leave whatever I'm doing. I came down, I started managing the business from a token of about maybe 45, 50K per month. That was, you know, the whole proceed that I generate for a month. And, you know, to what it is today, that maybe somebody working here with me is earning an equivalent of that. Not even one, not even two, and so on. So that is one of the challenges. And that thing again is, you know, the very hazard and ambiguous business environment. You know, Nigerian policies and government policies in our country and in this city as in quote, you know, is so discouraging. That is to say, there are many and thousands out there with different visions and dreams and, you know, business IQ, you know, well branded and so on and so forth. But because of the forces that opposes, you know, success in business, or that makes business thrive easily and so on and so forth. For instance, now you want to go and register maybe a business and so on. What they request from you alone, and then the time alone for them to process one document or one thing or the other, and then give you, you know, the needed support that you need and so on.
Yes.
It becomes too, you know, out of this world. It seems as if maybe, and so those are some of those areas of challenges that I looked at it too. And secondly too, the fluctuations, you know, in terms of instability in the economy and, you know, some other, you know, so on. But I want to say that all of us are all in it together. So it all depends on how those kind of barriers and challenges, when they come to me, I just felt like, you know, people should be able to sit up, all right, and try to like have that confidence and encourage themselves because no one will encourage you. You know. So another thing is maybe the pricing factor and so on and so forth. Because I remember years ago when I started this business, I was actually doing a pair of material for maybe 1,000 naira or 800. But today the story is no longer the same. What we are witnessing now is about 40% reduction in terms of the price. But then we will not cease to give up. We have to still strive and believe that maybe at a point too, when things peak, it gets down to everyone and then it reflects on our, individual life as well too.
Okay, so let me now ask you, do you have any regrets whatsoever maybe going into this business? Do you have any, would you have loved to do something else
Yeah.
if you have your way now, if you actually have your way, would you have gone into something else, not into the business you're doing now?
Yeah, actually, the actual vision that I have in mind wasn't about the laundry aspect or maybe the services that I render.
Render.
It could be catering and so on. And then I do supplies also as well. So in case anybody needs any particular items in my schedule list and so on, or in my scope of business and so on. So the prior plan that I had wasn't about this, but something prompted me to
Okay.
get in, towards them. Like I said, I was seeking for fun, but after waited for a long period of time, there was no any where I can raise funds from. So I thought it within myself that I need to start offering services for people, so that I actually approached some financial institutions for for a loan and so on and so forth. Although at least I have a kind of little collateral to assess the loan and so on. But I was turned down. And when I was turned down, and I thought of it that okay, fine. Instead of me to somehow again, okay, go to another place and try. Maybe I succeed and then someone now give me a loan for I'll be paying for like 2-3 years and so on. Why can't I use the 2-3 years to start doing something?
Okay.
And eventually that's when the idea came up that I have to go for the laundry aspect, and I started, and as of today now, at least I will not actually say okay, one will have to meet much of the loan and so on and so forth, which if I had collected the loan with the challenges and with the the business conditions in our country today, I wouldn't know how I would have
to pay.
But initially I have this dream of going into box supply of beverages, items, and then maybe superstore, running a supermarket, and then maybe eatery, and so on and so forth. Bakery, all those stuff and thereabouts, and then clothing line as well, and then some of those aspects, then a little bit of farming and so on. But at the tail end, I think I was unable to, realize these things, and I thought of, option B, which is the alternative. And the alternative is what I am in for and so on, so that it can be able to take me to my dream destination and so on and so forth. So one of another regret was that, when I invested, into the business and so on, by, how it is in Lagos today for you to, seek for an outlet, for you to be able to be convenient in terms of operations in your business and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then at that point, for like I said, 1 good year, I couldn't realize anything. The whole thing went down the drain, and I regretted a lot. I said, how I wish I would have used this money to finance my education, outside the country and so on and so forth. And at the point, that was how the whole thing went. But I was able to calm myself.
And you picked up and moved on again.
Yes, reassured myself, and I am still in the system.
Sure. Okay, so now some people actually, when they are looking forward to starting a business, they want to maybe rent a very big shop or a very big office space or outlet where they can start. they don't believe that you can actually start small. While some others believe that they can start from wherever they are. Some have started their business in their house
Okay.
or in their rooms, and then they grew from there. So, how was it for you? Did you start by renting a shop, or did you start from maybe your home or somewhere?
Yeah, I did not start by going into, seeking for a business office and all that, or a
Okay.
location immediately.
Mm.
I started by creating, a foundation, which is, contacts.
Okay.
I try to like network with many people. I go to people, pick up items from them.
Mm.
I try doing it for them. Try to build contacts on ground.
Okay.
So
You
that,
are doing that way from your home.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So most of the things I was doing then for about 8 months to 9 months, I was just basically doing that until 2018, eventually when maybe I got that. So my advice is that it all depends on what or the kind of services and product or the area of business you are going
You're
into
going to.
that
Okay.
requires you maybe to rent an outlet for
Mm.
your business operations and so on and so forth. But in the other aspect, I want to encourage any starter to, or fresher to, start from the foundation.
Okay.
Don't go into, spending so much in
money.
acquiring, all this asset and all that, and then at the end of the day, maybe the business turns, on the other way around or the contrary, and so on.
Okay. All right. Impressive. Now, let's assume that you are actually given an opportunity to come talk to perhaps those policymakers in Nigeria. What kind of advice will you give them that will benefit young business people? Because the show is about young entrepreneurs, people who are trying very hard to find their feet and to make a living in Nigeria. And then, so if you happen to meet the president or the policymakers in Nigeria, what kind of advice will you give them that will benefit the young business owners in Nigeria?
Thank you. If I have opportunity to do so, first and foremost, I have to advise, that there should be exemplary. Because today, whatever we are going through today, it was as a result of we not being exemplary. If, for instance, you have been privileged, to be elected or to serve in a public domain and so on, to me, advise that you should be a good role model. That is, show an example.
Okay.
Use that office, that office is not for you to become from a millionaire to a billionaire. No, it was meant for you to be of service, to your people, to the young ones. They are meant to create a very healthy, business environment so that people will be encouraged. Put incentives in place. Try to encourage youth by, trying to maybe organize some kind of, what's it called? Exhibition, business exhibition.
Okay.
Like today, the likes of maybe some other advanced country and so on. Because what happens all over the world today, it affects everyone today. So actually, for us as young people, if actually we have the right business environment, I tell you, we have a whole lot of very creative, young people and so on, in talent and so on and so forth. So they should create the right business, environment for young people to come in. For instance, now, if a father fails by not taking care of, or by not parenting his offspring or children very well, what will become the result of it? So, and it's not only government, families, societal group, and many other, stakeholders too. Let's try to, create the right business atmosphere for ourselves. For young people to come in. For instance, now, if a father fails by not taking care of, or by not parenting his offspring or children very well, what will become the result of it? So, and it's not only government, families, societal group,
and many other, stakeholders too. Let's try to, create the right business atmosphere for ourselves, so that at least the young people to find a need why, instead of them indulging into some kind of abusive lifestyle and so on and so forth, they can be able to channel well. Because if we are example have the right foundation in place, by the time you are giving birth, and you grow up to understand that this is nothing but the system of the day. Like in China, many of them who were giving birth 20 years ago, they realized that there is nothing their parents have been doing, or there is nothing their country can offer, or their nation will offer to the world, but rather than industrialization. So that is why all of them are champions in terms of industrialization, and you see them fertilizing business ideas and what have you across the globe.
Okay, now where do you see your business and yourself in a few years from now? Let's say maybe 10 years from now. Where do you see Mr. Joseph, and where do you see your business?
Well, my business in the next few years, I should be able to have built a brand that, in terms of anywhere you go across the country, precisely maybe every state capital, I should be able to have a presence there. And not only in Nigeria, but all over the world, as in maybe every country of the world.
Okay.
Because I am in for it.
I see.
Yeah. So,
I can see.
For myself too, actually, like in the next 10 years, I'm not going to see maybe I have made all the wealth and gather all the no. I should be able to have impact, thousands, and if like in one of my what's it called? Visions and all that is that I wanted to create a brand that will affect almost in millions of people, across the globe.
Let's say congratulations to that. Or let's say, how do we put it now? Good luck to that. All right, now the next question now is, in a day, what's the average of on a normal day, on a very good day, how much do you make as profit? Okay, as profit in a day, on the average?
Yeah, there are some days that maybe I would say minimum is 10.
Every day. Okay. 10,000.
And then sometimes we make up to 20, 50.
In a day.
In a day, yes.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it was like, so that's how it has always.
So it's that lucrative, right? It's that lucrative.
To me, I wouldn't say whether it is or not, because we are still in a working process. So I cannot actually be accurate with that, whether it's lucrative or
okay. Will you advise somebody to go into this business? Somebody who is looking for something to make money out of. Will you advise the person to go into laundry business?
Obviously.
Okay. So that means it pays, right?
Sure, in the sense that the pay, it all depends. All right, it all depends. What I'm saying that is that maybe what is good for me maybe might not be good for you.
Okay.
I get it.
So long as there's money, it's good for you.
So
it's good for everybody.
To say, okay, maybe if there is kind of sure, I will. And because I want to use myself as an example, this is one of the things that I've been able to pay, meet my bills and some other projects that I am in and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And if from my encouragement to people out there, maybe they can see, because I can't tell them that it's lucrative or not. But I will advise that, they should just give it a trial, because if you give it a trial, you understand better. But as for me, I want to use myself as an example, in the sense that, for instance now, if I can say in every 6 months, from what I do, the laundry stores and so on can generate maybe a place on this, because the rent that covers this place is over 60 to 70K per month.
A month.
Where you hire.
Wow.
Yes. So we have service charge, we have some other things, and then we have the actual,
Rent.
annual, yes, rent and so on and so forth.
Wow.
So, and in spite of that, and then maybe I have a kind of particular, wages for my workers and so on and so forth. And then I can equally do other or take other commitment from it and so on. And at least, no matter what happens there, I won't be saying that I am regretting or maybe I am too obvious like no. I
Okay.
think with what I'm doing, I'm cool at it and it's paying my bills. And that is the most satisfactory thing. And if I will have to make a proper plan, this thing alone, if I can do it for maybe 1 year, a year plus, no matter the choice of institution anywhere in the world, I can be able to, finance myself and so on and so forth. So why am I saying
Okay.
this? It's just to encourage somebody out there that, whatever you find yourself doing, whether it is maybe you want to come in this laundry
Yeah.
or maybe any other aspect, you are wishing to go and all that. I just want to tell you that don't sit back or don't sit at the corner of your bedroom and just conclude that it's not going to work. No, just give it a trial first and so on.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. I must say that you are a very brilliant young man, and for you to have been able to live up to this point in your business, and then you've also gone ahead to become an employer of labor. Okay, it goes to show that you have done very noble, and I encourage you for that. All right, encourage you for that. And also, so at this point in time, we'd like to see the operation in your office, like the processes you go about while you're doing the laundry. I hope we can.
Of course.
All right, so right now we are going to see the operation process of Mr. Joseph's laundry business. All right, so come along, let's go. Okay, Mr. Joseph, thank you so much. I think that's where we will be drawing the curtains today. All right, so I'm inside the laundry space, the inner room of Mr. Joseph's laundry and dry cleaning services. And he has spoken to us at length, and I'm sure that you have learned a thing or two from him. And in case you want to go into this business, I hope you have gained knowledge from what he has said so far. Okay? So thank you so much for watching today's episode of the show, and I hope you will join us in the next episode as we bring another exceptional young entrepreneur who is doing business in Nigeria. All right, so let's encourage our young people to go into business, and of course encourage them to be independent and to become more productive. All right, my name is Derek Ugwebu, and my Nigeria workshop has come to a close today. All right, so see you in the next episode. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, New Ace TV. Okay, and click on the bell icon so that you will get notifications anytime a new episode is uploaded. Join us also on our Instagram handle, newace.tv, and on Twitter it is newacetv1. Okay, so I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, and goodbye.